Hola amigos, welcome to week 2 of November's Tarotcast. So before we get into this, maybe you guys have been super awesome and already smashed that like button. Maybe you've already subscribed, and if you haven't, it's a really good idea. You might want to do it, and get ready to leave a comment at the end. I want to know what you think about this week's Tarotcast. So anyway, without further ado, let's do further and let's have a look at this week's card for the collective. Well then, this week for the collective, we have the Tower card. Well, this is a turn of events, isn't it? I mean, we started off last week at the beginning of the month with the Sun card. So the Sun card was the energy. This was the energy of happiness, is the energy of joy. And now we've got the Tower. So this could be suggesting that the things that we have been enjoying, maybe we're enjoying it to a bit of excess, or maybe we were enjoying the wrong thing. And there might be this situation where we need to reevaluate how we were having fun. Were we doing it responsibly? Were we affecting other people around us negatively? And it seems like things might come crashing down. All of that joy is going to come to an end. Now, if we don't make the effort to actually have a look now and maybe evaluate what we've been doing and deconstruct it now, it could be a bit easier. But if we don't do that, it could come crashing down as that lightning bolt strikes that tower. And it looks like we got a bit of work going forward, understanding what it is that truly makes us happy. Aries, this week you have the Six of Pentacles. So Aries this week is about understanding how much are we giving and how much are we receiving. Are we doing in a fair amount for ourselves, for others around us? Now, we've got to have a look at what's been going on with the collective energy this week, this month. We started off with the Sun, now at the Tower, so it looks like we've got some, what we thought made us happy, the things that brought that happiness in. Now it's being deconstructed, and now we also did have the Lovers last week, so now we've got to actually have a look at this giving and receiving energy, actually, because it looks like maybe we were focusing on a little bit too much for yourselves, Aries. So we want to have a look at probably giving a little bit more to others around us, because there's a lot of reevaluating that we all need to do this month with this Tower energy. So I would ask you to ask yourself, are you giving enough, or are you giving too much, leaving yourself depleted? Okay. Are you receiving more than your fair share, or are you closing yourself off from receiving? You need to find the balance this week. Taurus, this week you have the Judgment card. All right, Taurus, you have the Judgment card. We are talking about self-judgment. We are looking at the decisions we've made in the past. We are looking at what was right, what was wrong, what served us, what lessons did we learn last week. You did have the Emperor card. Now, the Emperor card did represent all that structure and routine that was going on around us. Okay. Also, last week we did have the Sun card. So we had a lot of finding that structure and finding that enjoyment around us. Now, this week with the collective energy, we have that Tower. It seems like whatever things that you enjoyed, that happiness kind of came through, where it didn't work out, the things that weren't working for you in that pursuit of happiness, we need to now take that time. We have to look, we have to reevaluate what it was that we were doing wrong when it came to structuring our happiness, when it came to setting that time aside, okay, that balance between work and play. These were the things that we really want to have been considering. So this week is a time to reflect. Gemini, this week we've got the Four of Cups. This is the hangover card. Now let's have a look back to last week and let's put this all together. We did have the Sun card last week for the collective, and now the collective, we have the Tower card. So it seems like that happiness wasn't working out, or maybe there was too much happiness, or we were getting it from the wrong place, and it started to collapse down, okay? It's starting to break apart with this collective energy of everyone. Now, Geminis, we are in this situation where we're really not happy with this situation. I mean, we're a bit fed up of things not working out, because last week we had that Chariot energy that told us, let's look to the future, let's plan things out, let's make those decisions that need to be made. And with that Tower energy for the collective this week, it's like things didn't work out. It's like we've tried our hardest and it's just come crashing down anyway. So It looks like, Gemini, we're in this area, we're in this space of feeling a bit apathetic. Our efforts didn't work out, but it is important to know we need to hold on. Okay, we need to hold on to this week. We need to hold out. Don't sink too low. Remember, things will work out eventually. The Tower, for the collective, the Tower does not happen by accident. It's a highly transformative card and it allows for new things to come through. So keep your chin up, be positive, be optimistic. Cancer, this week you have the Lovers. Okay, so Cancer, last week you did have the Death card. Things were going to be coming to an end. Now it seems like you've got something good coming through this week, even though that collective energy seems like a lot of happiness that was around us with that Death card. Seems like it's come crashing down. It seems like with the Tower this week for the collective, with your Death card of last week, it seems like those things seem to be very aligned right now. And it seems like, at least for you, this is a good process for you, even though it might feel a little bit tough, of that energy, things breaking down, that joy and happiness, what you thought was meant to make you happy, or maybe you're finding things, happiness in the wrong place. It seems like ultimately there's going to be a lot of self-love coming out the other end. So a lot of transformation with that Death card from last week, the Tower card of this week, okay? And we're now stepping into the Lovers card. So for you, it looks like there's going to be a lot of self-love, finding out what it is your heart truly desires, and how to achieve that for yourself. So while the other signs this week seem like they're going through a bit of a struggle, it seems like a bit of a trial, seems like you're very aligned this week for a lot of self-love and a lot of self-development. Leo, this week you have the Page of Swords. All right, so Leo, it seems like there's been a lot of air energy coming through. Last week we did have the Hangman. Now the Hangman was kind of like seeing things a little bit differently, trying to perceive things and understand, understand how things work, even if it's through a sacrifice of his own. And now this week we're asking ourselves, it seems like you should be asking yourselves, how can we grow a little bit more? And how can we understand what's going on around us? What are the thought patterns around us that are affecting us? Let's look at the collective. Last week, we did have the Sun card, which was about joy and happiness. Now the collective energy is now in the Tower energy. So as things are now collapsing down, as we start to reevaluate what it is that makes us truly happy, that joy, where it is we find that joy and happiness, it seems like it's going to be good for you and for that transformation. As things start breaking down, that transformation for you through that Tower energy is going to come from actually taking that time to stop and ask yourself, how are your thought patterns affecting you? Okay, it's going to come from the mental body to actually rebuild this and find that happiness again and find that joy and chase that and develop yourself a little bit more. So understand, with that Page energy, you have that curiosity, we have that excitement, that childlike energy. Embrace that in educating yourself and really learning a bit more. Might be a good thing this week to maybe read a bit of a self-help book, something understanding the mind. Virgo, this week you have the Four of Wands. Well, Virgo, last week you had the Strength card, reaching deep, finding that strength within. You had the Sun card last week for the collective as well. We all had the Sun card. Now that was finding that strength and finding that happiness. Now, we do also have that Tower energy for the collective this month. Now, that's bringing people down a little bit here, but this actually seems to be rather good for you, because as the Tower collapses, and as the Tower brings us back down to the foundation, it's important to know the foundation is where our strengths are. Now, it seems like for you, coming back to foundational, ground level stuff, what is it that's foundationally important to you? Okay, because that's where the stability is. The stability is where the foundations are. For you, you have the Four of Wands, which is a very strong stability card. There's also a lot of celebration. So for you, this energy this week is going to be about celebrating that there is this change. There's this dramatic change. So it seems like as the Tower is destroying things around us, this could be something like getting fired from a job that you really didn't like in the long run. So it seems like it could be a rather dramatic thing, but for you, ultimately, is something that you can celebrate. So that's an example. I do not wish people getting fired from any job, but situationally, you're going to be coming to a place of stability this week. Libra, this week you have the Ten of Wands. Okay, Libra, so it looks like we've got a lot of responsibilities this week that you looks like you've been trying to manage a bit too much. This is kind of like this is the overburden card. This is the card that you've bitten off more than you can chew, and now it kind of feels like things might be weighing you down. Now we do have that collective energy of the Tower, of things falling down, and look at this fellow here. He's ready to fall down. So maybe with that Tower energy of things collapsing, this could be because of maybe responsibilities, things that you've taken on, too many projects, whatever that might be. Now, so as that kind of is collapsing down with that Tower energy, you know, collapsing down from the happiness of the joy of the sun for the collective previously, as things start to collapse down, we want to start letting go. We want to start lightening our load. Okay, for you, you want to lighten that load. You want to have a look at your priorities. What is it that wasn't serving you? What is it was taking too much of your time? Let's look at what really needs to get done. Let's refocus our priorities and let's move forward with a lighter load. Let's take it off our shoulders. Scorpio, this week you have the Eight of Cups. Scorpio, this card is asking you, it's at least guiding you to turn around from some kind of emotional investment, something that you may have had your hopes set on, and you need to walk away from it. Now, this is quite interesting because last week you did have the Star card. Now, the Star card provides hope. Now, maybe there was some hope that came to you last week at the beginning of the month that gave you that hope to step up, to move forward. But now maybe you need to let go of that hope and you need to be a bit more autonomous. You need to find that within yourself, not running off hope anymore. But maybe you need to look forward and see how you're going to make things happen for yourself. We had that Tower energy for the collective coming through. Things are breaking down. And so those things that have broken down and come back to foundational ground level, maybe this is a time, and actually this would be very much aligning for you to actually reevaluate what those things that weren't serving you, the Tower collapsing down, leave that in the rubble. Okay, it is time to step forward into this week, leaving behind those attachments and those investments that you once had that were not serving you. Now is a time to kind of evaluate that, just reflect on that. Okay, it's time to let go. We don't want to rebuild that tower. Sagittarius, this week you have the Nine of Pentacles. Well, Sagittarius, last week you had the Temperance card, which was about finding that happy middle ground, finding that balance, getting away from scarcity, getting away from excess. And it seems like it's put you in a place of abundance. Now, of course, we do have that energy of the collective this week, which is the Tower energy, things falling down. Things are collapsing around us. Now, this might actually be a situation of less is more for you, okay? So as the Tower is kind of broken down and things are coming down around us and we're starting to reevaluate the things around us, we found that happy middle ground of balance from last week. This is coming across that, you know, we want to find that gratitude, because remember, gratitude is that highest vibration for receivership. And it's when we are in that space of gratitude, the universe starts to deliver us more and gives us that abundance that we truly need. So even if that tower is collapsing around us, it looks like things are going to work out. We just have to be grateful for this change that is going on around us right now. Capricorn, this week you have the Ten of Swords. We have the collective energy this week of the Tower. Things are crashing down for everyone. Hopefully, I mean, for some of us, it's not too bad, but looking here for you, we've got that Ten of Swords. Now, this Ten of Swords can seem like things are really bad, and it looks like things have come out of the unknown. The sword's in the back, this guy's back. It's like things have just come from nowhere. Didn't see it coming, and it seems like it was a bit of a shock when it did hit us. And the thing is, like last week, you did have the Fool. Now, the Fool was suggesting that you should take a leap of faith into the unknown. Now, if things didn't actually work out because of that leap of faith that the Fool was encouraging you to do, maybe ultimately that goal of that leap of faith, that what seemed like you were meant to achieve from it wasn't actually meant to be what you were meant to achieve. There was obviously some kind of a lesson that you were meant to learn along that way. So as things kind of seem to be hitting rock bottom for you, it is important to know, you hold out strong, because that, even though it is dark all around us, there is light on the horizon. So stay strong. Okay, the leap of faith with the Fool will serve you in the long run. And with that tower, once the tower's down to ground level, we can start to reconstruct it. So it seems like there's a lot going on, a lot of transformation for you, but hold out strong. It's going to work out. Aquarius, this week, you have the Two of Pentacles. So it's all about balance for you this week, Aquarius, okay? It looks like we want to start developing ourselves a little bit more. So you did have that Hierophant energy last week. You were working, you were dealing with some institutional energies, whether that was with work, whether that was with education or just society in general. It seems like you kind of come out that other side, understanding a little bit more. Now we can start taking on a few more. We can start taking on a little bit more. We can get ourselves a little bit deeper. Now, it's important when we are working with this Two of Pentacles energy. Two of Pentacles energy reminds us also not to actually get too excited about things. We don't want to be biting off more than we can chew, okay? Because we do have that juggling card, okay? Somewhere within the institutions, which is working for you this month, okay? We don't want to get too, we don't want to be doing too much. We want to be expanding ourselves a bit more, but if we do too much, like the juggler, if he takes on too much, it's all going to come crashing down. We're already in that energy of the Tower, of things crashing and coming down, but it seems like of all of the signs this week, it seems like you're actually there managing things better than everyone else. So it's important, you don't go to those extremes. Don't try and achieve too much too soon. Things are about small steps for you, okay? And rebuilding that tower with that collective energy, you understand, step by step, okay? Take on small things at a time. Pisces, this week you have the Four of Pentacles. All right, Pisces, this week with the Four of Pentacles, this is about attachments, okay? This is about holding on to possessions. This is about holding on to things in general. Now, we are experiencing the Tower as the collective energy this week. So as things might be falling down, as they're coming back down to their foundational ground level, it's going to be important for you not to hold on too tightly, okay? You don't want to be holding too tightly onto the rubble, to the ashes of what once was. There's going to be something. Now, remember that Tower is connected to the Sun card that did come through last week with the collective. So there might have been something about the happiness, about your happiness that may have come crashing down. You realize maybe something wasn't bringing you happiness ultimately, or it wasn't serving you in the long run. Now we've got the Four of Pentacles telling you to actually, you need to let go of something. There might be something hard. It might be a bit of a struggle to let go of what's happening around you. But if you don't, you're going to be suffering in that Tower energy, because that Tower energy can be rather problematic. And if we don't take it in our stride, if we don't try and flow with it to the best of our ability, if we cling on too much to that Tower and we go crashing down with it, it's going to hit us harder. So ask yourself this week, what are the things that you're attached to that are no longer serving you? Like the Tower coming down, things that no longer serve us, they're going away. We want to let go of that before it becomes too much of a problem. And so that is the Tarotcast for this week. Thank you for joining me. Drop a comment down below. Let me know how you're traveling. Are you aligned with the cards this week? Do you feel like this is telling your story? Do you feel like that this is maybe a bit of a warning for you? Or maybe this is something to look forward to? The Tower energy is a little bit problematic this week. So I hope things work out good for everyone and we flow with this nicely. But with that out of the way, guys, do hit that subscribe button, that like button, and I'll catch you guys next week for the Tarotcast as usual. So have a fantastic week and I'll see you then. Ciao.